All right, go ahead and recording right now.
All right, awesome. Today, we're going to be going over the written assessments of self and others, but specifically, we're going to be giving feedback to each other. So we're going to do one strength and one improvement for at least two people. So basically, the people that you have, just give one strength and one improvement, and then we should be good to go with that. We don't have any icebreakers today. There is no learning material discussion is required. I know that we did decide that we were going to do we're going to do the extra credit assignment. So
maybe if we can have Valencia put it on mute until.
Yeah. Sorry. Let me. Oh.
No, you good. So yeah, I know we said that we were going to do the extra credit assignment. So I think we're at the end of this meeting, we'll bang out a timeline for when we plan to do that before the end of the semester. Mm-hmm. All right. So going straight in it. Yep.
Are we supposed to also do a share one of our strengths and weaknesses for ourselves too, or is it just for everybody else?
It says everything.
It says each team member should share one strength that they identified on the self-assessment and one area they still need to improve on.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to do ourselves, and then we're going to do each other.
So one strength and two weaknesses, or was it one and one? Okay.
Yeah, and then the two comes in when we identify the other teammates. So basically, if we keep the same structure that we had, it should be fine. So I'll take Mariah and Jeff, because those are the people that I did. So that way we don't have to come off the cuff, and we can go ahead and knock this out in the most efficient manner. But so we do have to reintroduce ourselves again today. My name is Eli Gladden, and I am the facilitator. So
my name is Jeff, and I am the host.
I'm Mariah. I'm not. I don't think I have a role today. I'm just here.
Yeah, I'm Valencia.
Jana.
And I'm Ray.
Awesome. So if you could, Ray, go ahead and start us off with one strength weakness of yours.
Starting me off. All right.
Hey, yeah.
Excuse me. So I thought my strength was I was a good listener. When other people were talking, I really tried to listen and kind of give them time to understand their thoughts and ideas, as well as not try to interrupt or speak too soon before they finished. And then I thought one of my weaknesses was I didn't speak up enough. I'm a pretty shy guy in like certain situations, and this was one of them. And I think that I didn't speak up enough, just sharing my ideas and thoughts on discussions. The next person I had was Mariah. This was really.
We're going to do self right now. So sorry about that.
Okay.
We're just gonna do one self-assessment and one thing you need to improve on. Sorry about that, Jana.
So I felt like strength I had was my commitment, that I tried to attend every meeting and be fully prepared to discuss and participate. And something that I need to do to improve is to hold others accountable. So like if when people, like at our last meeting when some people hadn't done all the assignments, I didn't know what to do with it. And it was it really helped that someone brought up the team charter, that we had a plan for that. That's something I need to work on.
Okay. Let's go with Mariah.
I said that my strength was I get tasks done and I get them done on time. So like when I was facilitating the meetings, I felt like we got through our stuff pretty fast, and like just being able to stay on task and not getting super easily distracted. But I guess on the flip side of that is that I oftentimes I put as in the psychological contract that I'm not very good at connecting with my team because I'm so task oriented, and I felt like something that I did improve on was that I did make genuine connections, and I did allow people to like ask about our day, like we asked about our days, and like just being able to connect more on a level than I thought I was able to was really cool. But that's definitely my weakness. I'm not very good at like connecting with people if I'm trying to do like tasks.
Okay. Anything else, Mariah? Yeah. All right, Felicia.
For me, I put one of the things that I needed to work on was just me speaking up more. I know I felt like there was some times where you guys had to like call me to get me to answer or anything like that to participate more. And then, but on the flip end of that, I do feel like one of my, strengths was when I was there, I gave great feedback, great opinions. Even when I had the challenger role, asking different questions or not really, well, I guess kind of challenging to bring a different viewpoint. So I put that as a strength.
Okay. Jeff?
Well, I think one of my strengths for the class that is, like Jenna, I came prepared. I was aware of what was going on. Even at the hard times, we were able to get it done. One of the things that I did work on that I can still improve on is asking for help when I don't know. I think it's still hard for me, but I think I was able to improve it and feel comfortable.
And for me, I think barring that one video incident that Jana brought up, which I did review, by the way, I think the thing that I brought was just a different perspective on leadership, especially from the from the military side of the house, and I think that I was able to share my experiences to help, at least give people something to think about as far as this class is concerned. One of the weaknesses or one of the needs improvements that I had down was that I needed to be better with not stretching myself so thin. So that goes along with time management, and I can tell you that I failed at that horribly. Sending them down here in class, even though I'm able to give you guys a decent product, if I was able to focus solely on this, then I think I would be a little bit more. I feel like I'm engaged, but I feel like I'd be more engaged. I'd be more engaged if I didn't stress myself so thin. So we're gonna start out with Jana for what happened?
You would.
Yep. You're welcome.
Thanks.
So you can defer. You can defer. Who's ready? How about that? I'll be gracious and see who's ready.
Which one are we doing now?
We're doing the sharing one improvement and one basically strength of the two people that we had.
I can. I was gonna say I can go off.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so
if you want.
Lisa, go ahead.
Okay, so for one of them, I had Eli. So I feel like for Eli, one of his strengths was how flexible he was and how committed he was to the class. Like even with his traveling, everything that he had going on, he made sure that he did the necessary reading and, he was able to get on for the meetings, like whether he was getting on from his phone because he was at a dinner meeting or, getting on from the hotel. So just him always being prepared and being committed to the team, that was one of the strengths I had for him. And then one of the things I felt like he can improve on was mostly just kind of, I don't want to say stepping back, but sometimes he can like take over the meeting. Not that it's a bad thing, but, he'll take over or, like there's always like being first, answering all the questions. So like that was just one of his, I don't want to say weakness, but just him stepping back a little bit and letting someone else take the lead. And then the other person I had was Ray. So like he mentioned, one of his weaknesses, which is him not speaking up more. So a lot of times he was quiet for us in the meetings, but whenever he did have something to share, like it was great ideas and great feedback and stuff like that. So we knew he had it in him. He just wanted to speak up more. And then one of his strengths was, I would say just how he facilitated and did a good job with the whole group interview thing. I felt like he facilitated pretty good, and just him, keeping track of time and making sure we were on task and on roll on what we were supposed to doing. So I put that as one of his strengths.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Okay.
So I'll start with, I had Jeff and Jenna, so I'll start with Jeff. I said that you always came prepared, and you were willing to state the different opinion or idea that maybe we all didn't see, and I saw that as like a real strength and bringing like just a different aspect to the discussion. You have really great ideas, and I think when you stated them, it really made us think like, oh, like I didn't even think about that. So I thought that was a really great strength. The only thing that I said would be like an improvement, I found it a little bit distracting when you would like smoke on camera, or you would like have somebody else in the picture, which I don't really care about, but I did find it a little distracting. So nothing against you personally, but and then Jana, I said that you always had really insightful comments and knowledge in our discussions, and that you're really highly organized and you're really good with keeping us on track. But on the flip side of that, I think that you could have spoken up a little bit more and shared those really great ideas with us, and not stayed so like, not that quiet, but more like, I feel like you could have added a lot more to those discussions, and I really enjoyed what you had to say, so I wanted you to say more.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody else want to go?
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
So I had Valencia and Jenna. I'll do Valencia first. Kind of going back what you were saying. I definitely thought that you had great viewpoints when you spoke. I think you offered a really good, different opinion, just a unique opinion, and I liked it. I think that you had a lot of strength behind your opinions. I don't think that you spoke up as much as you should have. So I wanted to hear more of that as well. And then with Jenna, I think that, one, you were very compassionate. Like, I felt extremely comfortable with you. I think that you were keeping everybody's feelings in mind, very thoughtful, but also being very specific on what you want. You weren't afraid to be able to express how you felt. I think that you did a great job hosting and kind of letting things just roll and making sure that they were on time.
You coming in kind of choppy, Jeff?
A little better?
Just a little bit.
Okay. One thing that you can work on, I believe, is just kind of taking control and speaking up more. Again, I think that the participation just a little bit more.
Thank you.
Awesome. You ready, Ray?
Sure, I'll go. Or actually, yeah, that's fine.
No, it's fine. I'm ready. I'm ready.
No, I got it. It's good. It's good. I'll go.
Okay. All right.
This was pretty hard for me, just because, evals, I feel like I need to really know somebody a long time before I feel like I should be able to comment on them. So just keep that in mind. This was really hard for me. I'll start with, I did Valicia and Mariah. So Valicia, I thought one of your strengths was, I thought you were really good and you were really able to adapt and succeed in every role that we did. I thought you did a good job hosting and facilitating, and I think that you're really good at kind of switching into all these different roles. One thing that I think you could improve on is just contributing more and just speaking up. I know, like me, you were also kind of quiet, and I think if you had spoken up more, we could have heard more about your ideas and your thoughts and stuff on every topic. Mariah, I thought that you had great insight on the discussions, and you always spoke up, and you always gave us a lot of different kind of views of, comparing to what you went through with how it might seem or how it is. So it really made us think. I thought you did a great job at that. And then the only thing I really couldn't even think about, it was really hard for me. I just said the only thing that you should improve on was the thing that stood out to me the most was your dogs barking in the background. That was it for me.
That is fair.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
yeah,
Ted.
that's it for me.
Yeah, you're good. I can go next. So I had Mariah and Jeff. And so, Jeff, for you, I think one of your strengths was especially being able to tell a story, and then me being able to correlate how you stepped away when you did, and now in your management role, the way you actually lead is pretty similar to mine. So I really appreciated the fact that you had that perspective and you were able to provide that to everybody. The only thing that I had to say that you could potentially improve on would be to the nonverbal cues for me could be improved upon. A lot of the times, like they said, you like I can't remember who it was. It just said that just right now, but you would seem to be a little disengaged and you'd be talking to somebody else. And I think I understand. We all have life happening, just like I just had the McDonald's lady come in here in the middle of the meeting and talk to me because I had to do what I had to do in order to make this class. So I understand that. It's just, I had to pick something. So that was that for you. Mariah, I got to say, I really appreciated your positive energy and your willingness to do whatever was needed. I thought that was it made it very easy for me to trust you to do anything in this class. So I really appreciated that about you. And like you said, the only thing that I don't recall you really being a challenger, and the dogs every now and again. But like I said, it was really hard for me to try to come up with some stuff. So that was my two. Last but certainly not least.
Right. I don't know if yours going first or last. I did figure something out, though. I figured out why it's so hard to give feedback. I don't know about you guys, but it just makes me feel so vulnerable. Honestly, it's I would rather receive feedback than give feedback.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I would agree.
it was actually really hard to come up with anything negative. You guys are amazing. I had Eli and Ray. And Eli, I felt like you were just an emergent leader in our group, that kind of the backbone. You were always there, willing to do whatever needed to be done. And I think with you sharing your personal experiences, it really helped to foster some team cohesion and shape our team culture. And it helps the rest of us, I think, feel more comfortable that way too. The only thing that I could even come up with that you might improve on would be to avoid using profanity. Just because, not everyone is going to speak up if it offends them, and watching that, just watching that would help you decrease being misunderstood. I think it would help you reach to a larger audience, because I feel like you're really going to go places. Okay. And yeah, I just really enjoyed seeing you're calm and you're friendly. Just really helped out our team. So, and Ray, I think mine went right along with yours as far as your self-assessment. I felt like you had really valuable ideas, and we didn't hear from them enough. I wanted to hear more of what you had to say. But I felt like when you did speak up that you were very thoughtful, you were very eloquent, and that honestly, I thought that you'd make a great member of a task force, confronting some of the tougher issues, because you know how to speak with tact and diplomacy as well. But like you said, I think you could have maybe be more assertive and actively engage in the conversation. It seems like there's a balance between polite and being rude, but also speaking up for yourself. And it just takes practice. But I really do feel like you did a great job of listening and making sure that everyone in the team felt heard.
You got a hot mic. I think, Valisa, you might need to mute.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the room. I don't think that's
Okay.
me. I got the room closed.
There it is. Mariah, sorry about that.
That's it. I'm done.
Thank you.
Eli, you're muted.
All right, let's go back to the agenda. I know, so we hit all the wickets that we needed to hit. I know we did say that we were going to, excuse me. Excuse me. So we do need to make sure that we follow up with Module 7. Everybody needs to go and take a look at exactly what roles. We should assign roles now for Module 7. So I think I can be the host for Module 7.
I want to, because I know we didn't do the jokester really this one. She said not to do it. So if I can go ahead and do it for Module 7, that would be fine.
Okay, so we got Felicia the jokester, Eli the host.
I can be the facilitator.
Okay. All right. I don't think we need a challenger for that one. Let me just look at the agenda for 7 real quick. Modules. My internet is pretty slow, so forgive me.
I think we might need a challenger for this one, just because we do have like readings and videos to watch and talk about.
We definitely do.
Yeah.
And as soon as this pulls up, I'll be able to tell you exactly what it says we need. So
I
Do we
can
need this?
I can be the
Could be a-
challenger if we need a challenger.
I could be the submitter.
It doesn't really say other than joke of the day. So the jokester is definitely there.
Yeah.
It does-
We just got an email from Dr. Chanley about
Our meeting time.
Rose assignment.
I didn't get
She
that.
said, add this to the agenda.
Oh,
For 7. For
all right.
Oh, for final meeting. Sorry, guys. I'm so
All right.
it.
That's okay.
Right there with you.
All right. Everybody's kind of reading this right now.
Yeah. The agenda?
No. The email from Dr. Chandler.
Oh, I saw the notification pop up. Let me go to it.
All right. No. So I'll read it. That's fine. It says, I would like your feedback on teams assessing each other and whether that is a good or not so good assignment. The pros of the assignment are that it does give each team a chance to see another team in action and to take processes from the other team being useful. It is also a chance for teams to see what other teams are struggling with. The cons are that it is very difficult to coordinate and takes a lot of time on my part. But the biggest con is that almost without exception, the team's reaction to the feedback is defensive, even if only part of the critique is negative. And that for me is the dilemma. Having a defensive reaction gives us all a chance to work on that skill. The skill of hearing feedback and not getting defensive, but it also seems discouraging. Anyway, please tell me what you think of whether I should keep that assignment as a part of the class, or an alternative would be not to share feedback, just to have a meeting discussing the other team's meeting. Thanks, Dr. Chanley. P.S. The same thing happened the last time I taught this course, and I asked them the same question, and they all said to leave it in. So what say you all?
I say leave it in. I liked it.
Yeah, leave it.
in. Yeah, leave
Yeah.
it, definitely.
Think,
It's the best.
And it's a perfect for this class, just being able to take feedback. Like that's basically what this class is about, is virtual teams and getting feedback and taking things. So I feel like it's a big part of the class.
Well, I think, you might think that you're ready, but you still need work. And so this is a constant reminder that we're going to need to work on this and be aware of how we are defensive in what takes place. So,
Well, and she said this class is like, you can use it as work experience, but you need to experience having feedback given to you and changing and learning and growing. So why not? Especially from the team that you've worked with, saw twice a week for 7 weeks. It's the best place to do it.
I think it would be a disservice not to leave it in.
Yeah.
I am much in agreement with all of you. I can definitely say that just being able to see the perception of ourselves being displayed to everybody else, I think that's very critical to growth. And if we don't have that outside assessment, I know Dr. Chanley does it and she sends it to each one of us, but it's just one of those things where somebody else might see something totally different, and we may be able to get another perspective. So that's my 2 cents. But yeah, so it looks like we'll do a submitter again, the jokester, facilitator, and the host.
Do we need a submitter next time?
I mean, typically the host is the submitter, so I can submit.
Oh, that kind of submit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We won't have a submitter. We just have to do our notes and turn it in before the meeting. So I think I hit all the wickets. I'm going through the agenda again. Again, this was a pretty skimpy agenda, but if anybody has any other thoughts before we conclude?
I do. I just wanted to touch on the team charter meeting real quick.
Okay.
So I did watch that. I just had a few points on there. One of them was I'm glad nobody was like nasty or rude to someone else, because when you guys are talking about having to call Dr. Chainley online, like live during the meeting about it, that was funny. And then also Eli, your son sneaking in the video, that was hilarious. One of them, and it kind of made me think of when you guys, I think it was Ray who was talking about mostly like how did like virtual groups really, like how did they function back in the day? Because, you know, with them not having Google Doc, like how did they get work done? And then it made me think, like, how did they really do it? Like, was it just mostly just emails out, which it just seemed like such a slow process. Google Doc where, you know, you guys can all be on together, and even here, like being on Zoom where we can all talk to each other live and in person. So I did like that. And I did like how understanding you guys were about me missing the meeting also. So thank you. And I think that is it. I had already went into the charter and read it and signed it back then a couple of days after you guys finished it. So I think that was it. That's just my part I want to talk about.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Does anybody kind of want to
Yeah.
like talk about any of the responses that they got? Or
Responses for what?
just the feedback.
Oh, just our feedback from each other. I think it was, at least for me, mine was spot on. Is exactly how I felt.
Same.
I think Jana, you alerted me to something that I do that I really, it's unconscious and ingrained. It's been a long time. I've gotten a lot better, and that's something that I'm working on. But
Yeah, and I even hated to bring it up because it's not like it's not a big deal, but
it's totally fair. So don't, please. This is the reason why we have this class. So it's like things that I'm not even thinking about at all. I wasn't thinking about profanity or saying anything inappropriate. I know a lot of the culture that I grew up in the military has been inappropriate and profanity laced because of combat. So to get me back in the mindset of, you know, to take everybody else into perspective and all that, I think that's spot on. And I appreciate that. So that's something that I will continue to try to remember as I continue to progress throughout the school and just basically throughout life. So appreciate it.
awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Anybody else care to share?
I kind of wish I got more like stuff to work on. Because like I want to like grow and learn and be better. So if anybody has anything negative to say to me, please say it now.
Put your
I
dogs up.
need something to work on.
Put your dogs up.
No, you did a great job. I think that, you know, you offered a lot of opinions, but then you let other people really kind of explore their opinions. So you gave them opportunity to do that as well. So I think you did a great job. I think you're on the right track.
Yep.
I thought it
I
was
liked how you discussed too when we were talking about like privilege and stuff like that, and your own thoughts about it, like how you were feeling and stuff like that. I did enjoy that conversation with you, Mariah, but you really don't have much to improve on. So it should be a good thing.
Yeah. That was definitely one of the hardest. I felt like in this class was the most difficult thing to talk about, just because my goal is never to offend anybody, like, you know, and like that's never what I would want to do, is like use my words to like offend somebody. Like that's just not who I am. So that's like a really touchy conversation for a lot of people on a lot of levels. So I just was trying to be like the most cautious I could with saying how I felt, but not being in a way that's like, you know, offensive.
Yeah.
So I think there's the last order of business is just making sure that we know exactly what time what time and day we're gonna be meeting. I think we did say Monday, correct?
Yeah.
Was it
Was it Wednesday? Because
Wednesday?
Monday you wanted to
Wednesday.
prep some time.
Yeah,
Dana,
Wednesday.
Yeah.
I know
yeah.
you mentioned you wanted a couple of days.
Wednesday is
I'm down for Wednesday.
we were going to
Yeah.
the extra credit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So are we gonna do one and then another? So because the extra credit should be like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long.
I'm down to do back to back if that's easier for everybody else.
Okay.
Might
I'm
as
down
well.
with back to back also.
Yeah.
What time though on Wednesday are we doing it?
I'm flexible. I should be out of class by 6 o'clock you guys time. So, well, no, 4 o'clock you guys time. So, anytime after that.
What
Let me
about
just check my schedule.
like 6 o'clock or something when we normally meet?
I was
Yeah,
just thinking 6.
That works for me. So,
Next Wednesday is the 9th?
Yes.
Okay. You said 6?
I had us down for 5:30 for some reason, but yeah, 6 that worked.
Yeah, 5:30 or 6. I'm off at 5, so either one of those works.
I say 5:30 so we can go ahead and get in earlier if we can.
Yeah, 5:30 is good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone, I really appreciate letting us meet early today.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
sure.
that's why we're a team. So, we make sure that we all can be accommodated. I think that was one of the key things that I wanted to stress that, we're a team, we're here, we're flexible. I mean, nobody is greater than anybody else. So if somebody has something that they really want to do, like you do right now, I think it's great that we're able to accommodate you. And I just thank everybody else for being so accommodating as well.
Yeah, same. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
I think we had the best team.
I do
I
too.
agree.
Not gonna lie.
I thought
I'll second that motion.
All right. Team 7's the best. Take
Yeah.
note of that, Dr. Chanley.
All right.
All right, guys.
Guys,
See
take it
you
easy.
Wednesday.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
This
All right,
is
see you guys.